They weren't built for the masses, they were built to break egos. In the 60s, these muscle cars prowled in tiny numbers, leaving broken stoplight challengers in their wake. Decades later, they've gone from street predators to million-dollar trophies, and most people still have no idea they ever existed. Top 1 1967 Dodge Coronet RT HEMI Convertible. In the late 60s, Dodge wasn't shy about building brutes for the street, but sometimes the rarest monsters wore the most unassuming clothes. The 1967 Dodge Coronet RT HEMI Convertible looked like a polished boulevard cruiser, yet under its refined exterior lurked one of the fiercest engines ever bolted into a production car. The Coronet RT was Dodge's flagship performance model for '67, wearing crisp B-body lines, a bold full-thickness grille, quad headlights, and subtle RT badges. The convertible added a power-operated soft top, stainless trim, and a touch of luxury that hid its violent potential. Inside, you'd find high-back vinyl bucket seats, a full-length center console, wood grain accents, and a rally gauge cluster. Buyers could select a 4-speed manual with Hurst shifter or a bulletproof torque flight automatic. Whichever you chose, you got the R-Code 426 cubic inch Street HEMI V8, a race-bred legend, packing 425 gross horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, breathing through dual Carter AFB 4 barrels. Heavy-duty suspension, power front disc brakes, and beefy driveline components ensured the car could handle what the engine dished out. Only 3 HEMI Coronet RT convertibles were built in 1967, making it one of the rarest muscle cars of all time. On the strip, they could run the quarter mile in the low 13S at over 105 miles per hour, blistering performance for a full-sized convertible in its day. Their extreme scarcity has made them multi-million-dollar collectibles. The last time one crossed the block at a major auction, bidding soared past $1.6 million, and pristine, numbers-matching survivors are effectively priceless in Mopar circles. Most have been off the open market for decades, tucked away in private collections. The Coronet RT HEMI convertible was never intended for the average driver. High insurance costs, a hefty sticker price, and the HEMI's finicky street manners kept production to a bare minimum. Those lucky enough to have owned one knew it was something special even before it became a 7-figure artifact. Today, every detail from the VIN tag to the date-coded spark plug wires is scrutinized for authenticity. And while Dodge's open-air HEMI is a unicorn in every sense, Plymouth took that same legendary engine, dropped it into a flashier convertible body for 1970, and built only one more unit than Dodge, creating another 7-figure Mopar icon. Top 2. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner HEMI Convertible. The Plymouth Roadrunner was supposed to be the working man's muscle car barebones, loud and cheap enough for anyone to own. But in 1970, a handful of buyers ignored that budget formula and checked the most expensive box on the order sheet, the 426 HEMI in a convertible body. The result? A street brawler dressed for summer. For 1970, the Roadrunner got a sharper, more aggressive look, a loop-style chrome bumper surrounding a new grille, sculpted fenders, and the now-famous air-grabber hood option with a vacuum-operated pop-up scoop. The convertible version added a power-operated top, bright stainless trim, and curbside presence that turned heads before the engine even fired. Inside, high-back vinyl bucket seats, rally gauges, and the pistol-grip shifter for 4-speed cars made the cockpit every bit as purposeful as the coupe. Under the hood sat Chrysler's fearsome R-Code 426 HEMI, 425 gross horsepower, 490 pound-feet of torque, dual 4 barrels, and heavy-duty everything, from the driveshaft to the suspension. Buyers could choose the bulletproof torque flight automatic or a close-ratio 4-speed, backed by a sure grip differential. Plymouth built only 4 HEMI Roadrunner convertibles in 1972, automatics, 2 4-speeds, making it one of the rarest Mopars ever. In period testing, these cars could sprint the quarter mile in the low 13S at over 105 miles per hour, easily matching lighter competitors. Today, they are million-dollar machines. Well-documented examples have sold for $1.5 million+, and the combination of rarity, open-air fun, and the most feared engine of the era keeps values climbing. In 1970, ordering a HEMI Roadrunner convertible was an act of defiance against rising insurance rates and tightening emissions laws. Most buyers opted for cheaper 383 or 440 versions, leaving this handful of HEMI drop-tops as legends in hindsight. Surviving examples are pampered and protected, often restored to Concours standards with every component date-coded and correct down to the smallest decal. And while Plymouth's HEMI ragtop combined muscle and flash in equal measure, Pontiac in 1969 built a convertible so rare it makes even this roadrunner seem common. And under its hood lurked the ultimate Ram Air 4 engine. Top 3. 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge Ram Air 4 Convertible. The Pontiac GTO Judge was already a loud statement. Wild colors, screaming stripes, and a name that dared anyone to challenge it. But in 1969, a select handful took that swagger further, ordering the ultimate Ram Air 4 engine in convertible form. The result? A verdict of guilty for excessive speed. The '69 Judge convertible wore every hallmark of Pontiac's most flamboyant muscle car: a color-keyed Endura bumper with hidden headlamps, bold The Judge graphics on the flanks, rear deck spoiler, and Rally 2 wheels wrapped in polyglass rubber. Carousel red was the poster color, but buyers could choose stealthier hues. Inside, straight-toe bucket seats, wood-grain dash trim, Rally gauges, and a Hurst shifter set the scene for serious driving. The real magic lived under the hood. The 400 cubic inch Ram Air 4 V8, factory rated at 370 gross horsepower, featuring round port heads, an aggressive cam, forged internals, and a functional Ram Air system. Buyers had their pick of a close ratio 4-speed or a heavy-duty turbo 400 automatic. Only 5 Ram Air 4 Judge convertibles were built in 1969, making this the rarest Judge configuration in existence. Capable of low 13-second quarter miles at over 105 miles per hour, it rivaled the quickest factory muscle of its time. Today, they're million-dollar-plus machines with pristine, numbers-matching examples bringing $1.2 million or more at auction. Their combination of brash style, top-down freedom, and race-spec performance ensures they sit near the top of Pontiac's collector hierarchy. The '69 Judge Ram Air 4 convertible was a paradox luxury and flair blended with a no-compromise performance package. In an era of rising insurance costs and tightening emissions, it was an expensive indulgence few dared to order. Survivors are meticulously preserved, and any public appearance, whether at a concours or auction, draws Pontiac fans like moths to a flame. And while Pontiac's Judge strutted its stuff with flashy colors and high-revving fury, Plymouth's answer that same year was a convertible built for the gentleman racer, packing HEMI muscle under a refined skin and produced in numbers you could count on your fingers. Top 4. 1969 Plymouth HEMI GTX Convertible. The Plymouth GTS was nicknamed the gentleman's muscle car, a machine that could go toe-to-toe with the fiercest street racers while offering comfort and class. But in 1969, a tiny group of buyers decided their GTX should be more than refined. They ordered it with the fearsome 426 HEMI and a convertible top. The '69 GTX convertible wore clean, squared-off B-body lines with a wide grille, quad headlights, and a power bulge hood hinting at the muscle beneath. Chrome rocker trim, bright wheel lip moldings, and GTX badging added to its upscale aura. The convertible variant featured a power-operated soft top with bright stainless trim, making it just as suited for a summer boulevard cruise as for a backroad sprint. Inside, high-back vinyl bucket seats, wood-grain dash trim, rally gauges, and the optional console with pistol grip shifter gave it a premium yet purposeful feel. Under the hood, the R-Code 426 HEMI V8 delivered 425 gross horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque through dual Carter 4 barrels, backed by a bulletproof TorqueFlite automatic or a close-ratio 4-speed manual. Heavy-duty suspension, power front disc brakes, and beefed-up driveline components came standard. Plymouth built only 11 HEMI GTX convertibles in 1969, making them rarer than many legendary Mopars. With a 4-speed, they could rip the quarter-mile in the low 13s at over 105 miles per hour, performance equal to the era's most celebrated muscle machines. Today, their combination of luxury trim, open-air cruising, and top-tier Mopar muscle puts them firmly in the multi-million-dollar bracket. Well-documented examples have sold for $2 million+, and most are now locked away in high-end collections. This was a car for the discerning performance buyer, someone who wanted the comfort and polish of a luxury interior but refused to compromise on power. The high cost of the HEMI option combined with insurance penalties and its reputation for being temperamental in daily driving, meant only the most committed enthusiasts placed an order. Today, every surviving example is treated as a crown jewel in the Mopar world. And while Plymouth's GTX convertible balanced refinement with raw HEMI power, Chevrolet in 1967 created a drop-top Corvette so focused on racing that it came without a heater or radio, a stripped-down terror now worth millions. Top 5 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88 convertible. In 1967, Chevrolet offered a Corvette so hardcore that dealers were told to dissuade casual buyers from ordering it. The L88 convertible wasn't about comfort or cruising. It was a factory-built race car thinly disguised as America's sports car, and almost no one was brave enough to buy one. The '67 Corvette Stingray was already an icon. Sharp fender creases, side vents, a low stance, and near-perfect proportions. On the L88, the exterior looked deceptively normal, no special stripes or wild badges to give away its lethal intent. Inside, the story was the same. Standard Corvette trim but without a radio or heater, weight-saving dilutions that hinted at its true mission. Under the hood sat the hand-built 427 cubic inch L88 V8, officially rated at 430 gross horsepower, but actually making closer to 550. It featured aluminum cylinder heads, a high-rise intake, an 850 CFM Holley carburetor, and a radical solid-lifter cam. Power went through a close-ratio Muncie 4-speed to a posit-traction rear axle, and heavy-duty brakes and suspension kept it in check. Only 20 L88 convertibles were built in 1967, making them among the rarest Corvettes ever produced. With race fuel and slicks, these cars could storm the quarter mile in the low 12s, astonishing for a street-legal car in the 60s. Today, they are multi-million-dollar treasures. A documented example has sold for $3.4 million, and any surviving original L88 convertible is considered a blue-chip investment in the collector world. The L88 convertible was never intended for boulevard cruising. Chevrolet required buyers to sign off acknowledging its lack of creature comforts and high-maintenance race motor. As a result, almost every L88 went straight to the track or into the hands of hardcore performance enthusiasts. Today, they're the centerpiece of top-tier collections, and public appearances are rare, usually limited to concours events or prestigious auctions. And while Chevrolet's L88 was a purpose-built road and track weapon, its bow-tie stablemate from 1969 took a stealthier approach, hiding an all-aluminum 427 under a Camaro's hood, ready to humiliate anything in its path. Top 6 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. In 1969, Chevrolet quietly built a Camaro that rewrote the muscle car rulebook, and almost no one outside the racing world knew it existed. Conceived under the COPO program, the ZL1 looked like a mild-mannered street car, but beneath the steel beat the heart of a Can-Am racer. On the surface, a ZL1 Camaro could pass for a typical SS or COPO 95-61, with understated paint, factory rally wheels or dog-dish hubcaps, and no wild striping to give away its true purpose. Inside, the cabin was pure Camaro bucket seats, center console, and optional gauges, but the real story sat under the cowl, induction hood. The ZL1's 427 cubic inch V8 was an all-aluminum masterpiece, hand-built for drag racing. Officially rated at 430 gross horsepower, real output was well north of 500. It featured an aluminum block and heads, forged rotating assembly, a high-rise intake, and an 850 CFM Holley carb, a close-ratio Muncie 4-speed or turbo 400 automatic, and a 12-bolt rear with 4.1 gears put every ounce of that power to the ground. Only 69 ZL1 Camaros were built in 1969, making them rarer than many of the most celebrated muscle cars. Straight off the showroom floor, they could run the quarter mile in the low 13s, and with tuning and slicks, they easily dipped into the 11s. Today, they're seven-figure collectibles, with pristine, numbers-matching cars bringing $1 million+ at auction. Their combination of stealthy looks and devastating performance has cemented them as the ultimate sleeper of the muscle era. The ZL1's astronomical price in 1969, almost double that of a base Camaro, and its uncompromising focus on competition meant few dealers could sell one. Most went straight to NHRA Superstock teams, where they became legends. Today, surviving examples are meticulously documented, and their ownership history is often as famous as the car itself. Finding one in original condition is nearly impossible, and when they do surface, the collector world takes notice. And while Chevrolet ZL1 was all about race-bred engineering wrapped in subtle sheet metal, Oldsmobile in 1970 built a convertible that married brute big-block force with top-down luxury and produced it in numbers you could count without taking off your shoes. Top 7. 1970 Oldsmobile 442W30 convertible, 4-speed. In 1970, Oldsmobile's 442 was already a muscle car, with a reputation for blending brawn and refinement, but tick the W30 box, pair it with a 4-speed, and order it as a convertible, and you had one of the rarest, most desirable big block ragtops of the entire muscle era. The 1974 42W30 convertible stood out with its fiberglass twin-scooped hood secured by outside latches, functional ram air system, and bright W30 callouts. Signature red inner fender wells marked it as something special, while chrome bumpers, stainless trim, and optional rally wheels added a touch of elegance. The convertible's power-operated top framed a cabin of Strato bucket seats, wood-grain dash trim, rally gauges, and a Hurst shifter for the close-ratio Muncie 4-speed. Beneath the hood lived the 455 cubic-inch Rocket V8, conservatively rated at 370 gross horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque, tuned with a hotter cam, aluminum intake, and specially calibrated carburetor to maximize mid-range punch. Heavy-duty suspension and limited-slip rear kept it planted. Out of all 1970 103s, only 96 were convertibles equipped with the 4-speed manual, making them unicorns even among rare muscle cars. In period testing, these big-block bruisers could crack the quarter-mile in the low 14s, remarkable for a 3,800-pound convertible. Today, Concours quality, numbers-matching examples regularly command $1 million+ at auction, especially in bold factory colors with full documentation. The W30 convertible was built for a very specific buyer, someone who wanted all the luxury and style Oldsmobile could offer but with the power to challenge anything from Plymouth, Pontiac, or Chevrolet at a stoplight. Many were driven hard, modified, or simply worn out, making untouched survivors exceptionally rare. Those that remain are guarded by top-tier collectors and only emerge for elite shows. And while Oldsmobile's W30 ragtop proved that luxury and muscle could coexist, Ford's Shelby division in 1968 went for pure charisma, creating a Cobra jet-powered convertible so confident it was crowned King of the Road. Top 8. 1968 Shelby GT500 KR convertible. By 1968, the Shelby Mustang was already a legend, but when Ford's new 428 Cobra jet engine debuted mid-year, Carroll Shelby took it, dropped it into the GT500 convertible, and gave it a title that left no doubt about its intentions: King of the Road. The GT500 KR convertible blended muscle and style in equal measure. A unique fiberglass hood with twin functional scoops, a bold grille with integrated fog lamps, side scoops, sequential taillights, and GT500 KR rocker stripes set it apart from any other Mustang on the road. The convertible added a power-operated top, bright stainless trim, and the open-air thrill that made its 428 growl even sweeter. Inside, high-back bucket seats, wood-grain dash accents, full instrumentation, and a roll bar gave it both comfort and performance credentials. Under the hood, the 428 Cobra Jet V8, officially rated at 335 gross horsepower but making closer to 400+, delivered brutal, low-end torque through a 4-speed top-loader or C6 automatic to a 9-inch rear axle with traction-lock differential. Shelby built 518 GT500 KR convertibles in 1968, but fewer than a dozen remain in Concours quality, numbers-matching form. In its day, the KR could cover the quarter-mile in the high 13s quick for a luxury-equipped convertible. Today, pristine examples in rare colors with full documentation can reach $1 million+ at auction, making them some of the most valuable Shelbys of the era. The GT500 KR convertible appealed to drivers who wanted the Shelby name, the new Cobra jet punch, and the flair of top-down motoring. Many were driven hard, and some were lost to accidents, so surviving original cars are fiercely protected. When one appears for sale, it draws worldwide attention from Mustang and Shelby enthusiasts alike. And so, from Dodge's 3-car HEMI unicorn to Shelby's open-air King of the Road, this list proves that the rarest 60s muscle cars didn't just define an era, they transcended it, becoming million-dollar icons that collectors will chase for a lifetime. The 60s gave us the golden age of muscle, but only a select few models reached the perfect storm of speed, style, and scarcity. These weren't just cars, they were rolling statements, often built for racing, special customers, or pure bragging rights. Most disappeared into garages, racetracks, or the pages of history until now. Today, they're among the most valuable machines ever to wear Detroit steel, commanding auction prices that rival fine art. For collectors, owning one isn't about transportation, it's about holding a piece of unrepeatable history. Which of these million-dollar legends would you choose if money were no object?